What's up, basketball fans? Welcome back to Her Hoops, your home for the real talk behind the WNBA's biggest headlines. And today, oh boy, we've got a story that could shake the entire league to its core, because it looks like Caitlin Clark's 2026 return, yes, the golden girl of women's basketball, the face of the WNBA's new era, might be in serious danger. That's right, the same league that just exploded in popularity, sold out arenas, and finally started turning heads across the sports world.
I truly thought they was going to try to extend the already existing, collective bargaining agreement so it won't be a lockout. Well, I'm here to tell you, these women, they playing hardball. They don't want to extend nothing. They want change. They want some money. That's what it's looking like. They don't give a damn about the WNBA fans. It is apparent, because if they did, they would somehow not have this lockout happen.
Might not even have a season when Caitlin Clark steps back on the court. You heard that right. The WNBA is on the brink of a lockout that could derail everything this league has built over the past year. And it's not just some rumor floating around social media. This comes straight from inside the WNBA Players Association itself. According to recent reports, negotiations between players and league officials have completely broken down. Both sides are digging in, and neither is backing off. The players say they've had enough. They want real money.
Boy, oh boy, I was wrong, and I'm hardly ever wrong, y'all. I'm hardly ever wrong. Your boy John Liquidator, I be on it, bro. I'm hardly ever wrong. This here is getting spooky. A deep dive into the CBA negotiation, which this is a video here that we're going to look at shortly. I have not watched that, but this is the news that just came out an hour ago. It's stated in some CBA news from the show, we have worked hard to be able to say on Friday, we did it.
Real revenue sharing, and the same respect the NBA players fought for decades ago. Meanwhile, the league office, backed by owners, is saying, slow down, we're not there yet. And now, it's all coming to a head. If no deal is reached soon, the WNBA will officially lock out its players, leaving Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and every single superstar without a season. So how did we get here? How did one of the most promising eras in women's basketball history spiral into chaos, just months after its biggest breakout season ever?
So unfortunately, it's not going to happen. I'm not hopeful that agreeing to a deal by Friday is going to happen. Guys. And then on Underdog, they just said it 53 minutes ago, WNBA is extremely unlikely to happen. Let's check out this video, man, because like I stated, I didn't think it was going to get this bad. I didn't think they was going to allow this thing.
Let's break this all the way down, because what's really happening behind closed doors might shock you. This is Her Hoops, and we're getting into it. To really understand how Caitlin Clark's 2026 season ended up in jeopardy, we've got to rewind, way before this lockout talk hit the headlines. Because this story, it didn't start with one disagreement or one bad contract. It started years ago with the WNBA's foundation itself, a league that's been balancing passion and paycheck since day one.
To go to a lockout situation, there's just no way they was going to allow this to happen. And I'm here to tell you, I was wrong. So this is from the Athletic Podcast. Now they're partnered up with the New York Times, so they going to get all the news now. Shout out to them. Go show them some love, because it looked like they definitely need it. But let's listen.
Good Halloween costume ready for Friday. The most important thing happening on Friday. Yeah. My partner's birthday is on Wednesday, so just a lot of...
See, back in 2020, the players signed a new collective bargaining agreement, or CBA. It was supposed to be a fresh start. Higher salaries, better maternity benefits, improved travel. And for a while, it worked. The W was slowly gaining momentum. Then came 2024. Caitlin Clark entered the league, and everything changed. She brought millions of new eyes, record ratings, sold out arenas, and money. Lots of it.
Life stuff, and as you said, Halloween is, a very important holiday in my family. And so I've been going back and forth. I think I forgot my vampire fangs at home.
Bro, we don't want to hear about this.
I'm going to figure it out.
Very, very nice. I guess before we get into any of the spooky stuff, just to level set with our audience, can you just kind of describe your role at the PA and what you do, and
let's see who is this?
Yeah, how you kind of fit into the Players Association ecosystem.
Suddenly, the WNBA wasn't just a niche sport anymore. It was a product people wanted to see. But here's the problem. The money coming in wasn't flowing to the players the way they expected. While stars like Clark, Reese, and Collier turned the W into a national conversation, their paychecks still didn't reflect that explosion in value. So last year, the WNBA Players Association made a bold move. They opted out of that CBA. They said, "We're done settling. We want what we've earned." And that, right there, was the turning point. From that moment on, the countdown to a possible league shutdown began. Negotiations started, quietly at first. Then, the tension started leaking out. Reports surfaced that the players and league executives weren't even close on revenue sharing, charter flight policies, or media rights deals. And now, that tension has exploded. Both sides are pointing fingers, deadlines are passing, and the threat of a 2026 lockout is very, very real. What makes it worse, the timing couldn't be any more disastrous. The WNBA finally has the spotlight, and now it's risking everything. But what exactly are they fighting over? What issues have the players so fed up that they're ready to risk their own season? We're breaking that down next. Let's strip away the headlines for a second and get into what this battle is really about. At the heart of the WNBA's looming lockout are three major fights, and each one has the potential to either transform the league or tear it apart. First, money. Players are demanding a bigger cut of the revenue. Right now, WNBA players only receive a fraction of what their NBA counterparts do, despite massive growth in viewership, jersey sales, and ticket revenue. The players want a 50-50 revenue share, the same deal the men have. The league? Not even close to agreeing. The WNBA says the numbers don't support it yet. The players say those numbers exist because of them. Caitlin Clark's merch flies off the shelves, Angel Reese drives clicks, and A'ja Wilson sells out arenas, yet they're still making less than assistant coaches in the NBA. That's issue number one. Second, travel. This one might sound small, but it's huge. Players are tired of flying commercial, dealing with delays, cramped seats, and red-eye flights right before games. The union wants full charter flights for every team, every game. The league says it's too expensive. The players say it's about respect and safety. And finally, control. The players want more say in how the league operates, everything from expansion teams to marketing deals. They believe they've earned a seat at the table, not a seat in the back. The owners, however, don't want to give up that power. So here we are, a classic standoff. Players who built this new wave of excitement demanding change, and league executives clinging to old systems. It's a powder keg waiting to explode. And caught right in the middle? Caitlin Clark, the biggest star the WNBA has ever had. Her 2026 season could vanish before it even starts. Because if no deal is made, the WNBA won't just lose a season. It could lose the momentum that made people care in the first place. Here's where everything starts to spiral, because this isn't just a negotiation anymore. It's turning into a full-blown war between the players and the league office. The tone has shifted from, "We'll figure it out," to, "We're done playing nice." Behind closed doors, frustration is boiling over. Players are calling out the league for dragging its feet, for talking equality but practicing control. And league officials? They're quietly firing back, saying the players are being unrealistic, demanding NBA-level deals without NBA-level profits. But let's be real. The players have receipts. They've watched the league's popularity skyrocket since Caitlin Clark's debut. They've seen ESPN ratings triple, merchandise sell out in minutes, and entire arenas packed with fans wearing WNBA gear. And yet, the money isn't adding up. The disconnect is obvious. Players like A'ja Wilson, Napheesa Collier, and Breanna Stewart have all voiced the same message. "We built this momentum, now it's time to cash in." And they're not backing down. According to insiders, the union has flat-out rejected several league proposals, saying they don't go nearly far enough. Even Kathy Engelbert, The WNBA commissioner has reportedly struggled to keep talks from collapsing entirely. It's gotten so bad that some players have started hinting, publicly, that they're willing to sit out 2026 if their demands aren't met. Think about that. The league's biggest stars potentially walking away from the game just as it hits its peak. And here's the kicker. This all comes at the worst possible time. The WNBA just announced expansion teams, international media deals, and sponsorship boosts. They were finally entering a new era of growth. Now, all that momentum is hanging by a thread. Because when both sides dig in this deep, when pride, principle, and paycheck collide, someone's going to get burned. And if a lockout really does happen, Caitlin Clark's return could go from being the most anticipated moment in women's sports to the biggest what-if in WNBA history. But to truly understand how we got to this boiling point, we have to look deeper into the behind-the-scenes power plays, legal battles, and personalities shaping this showdown. So, what's really going on behind those closed-door meetings? Because when you strip away the PR statements and "we're working hard" press quotes, you start to see the truth. This fight isn't just about money. It's about control, legacy, and leverage. On one side, you've got the WNBA Players Association, led by voices who've lived through the league's growing pains. Veterans like Breanna Stewart, Nneka Ogwumike, and Nafisa Collier. They've spent years being underpaid, undermarketed, and underappreciated. And now that the league is finally booming, thanks largely to a new generation of stars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, they're saying, enough. We built this. We deserve more. On the other side sits Commissioner Kathy Engelbert and the owners, balancing between growth and caution. They argue that expanding too fast could collapse the business model. Their message? We can't pay NBA-level salaries until we have NBA-level revenue. But here's where it gets tricky. The players know the money is coming in. They see the sponsorship deals. They see the ticket sales. They see their faces plastered across national TV. And with every viral clip of Caitlin Clark pulling up from the logo, every sold-out crowd chanting for Angel Reese, their leverage grows. And they're using it. Sources say player reps have been strategically coordinating media pressure, pushing stories that highlight inequality in pay, travel, and media coverage. Meanwhile, league executives have gone silent, hoping fans will side with keeping the lights on instead of breaking the system. But here's where Caitlin Clark becomes the X factor. She's not just a star, she's the brand. Her presence alone brought the WNBA more visibility than it's ever had. If her 2026 return gets delayed, or worse, canceled, the league risks alienating millions of new fans before it even establishes its footing. That's why this isn't just another negotiation. This is the battle for the WNBA's identity. Who runs it? Who profits from it? And who defines its future? And right now, both sides are betting everything they've got. If this lockout actually happens, the fallout won't just hit the WNBA. It'll ripple across all of women's sports. Because right now, the WNBA isn't just a basketball league. It's a movement. It's proof that women's sports can sell out arenas, dominate social media, and hold national attention. Caitlin Clark's rookie season wasn't just good for the Fever. It was good for every women's athlete, from college hoops to the NWSL to track and field. And that's exactly why this lockout threat feels like a gut punch. The timing couldn't be worse. Women's sports finally have global momentum. But instead of building on it, the WNBA is flirting with self-destruction. Networks like ESPN, ABC, and Amazon just invested in broadcasting deals. Advertisers are lining up. Young girls are wearing Caitlin Clark jerseys to school. And now, the message being sent is, we might not play next year. That's not just bad business, that's a cultural setback. Because make no mistake, the WNBA has become part of the national conversation. Fans aren't just watching for the highlights. They're emotionally invested. They've picked sides. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, A'ja Wilson versus the system. Storylines that have driven record engagement all summer. If the league goes dark in 2026, it's not just a pause, it's a reset. Fans move on, momentum dies, And rebuilding that audience, that could take years. Meanwhile, the NBA, NFL, and even women's college basketball will keep thriving, while the W risks fading back into the shadows. But here's the silver lining. This crisis also presents opportunity. If the players in league can somehow come together and create a fair, modern deal, it could redefine how women's sports are structured forever. Revenue sharing, media rights, player investment. The blueprint could inspire every women's league to follow suit. So yeah, the stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just about Caitlin Clark's 2026 season. It's about the future of professional women's basketball itself. The question is, who's going to blink first? So here we are. The WNBA is standing on the edge of something massive, and the next few months will decide everything. For years, this league fought for relevance. It battled indifference, low pay, small crowds, and endless comparisons to the NBA. But then came Caitlin Clark, and suddenly the WNBA wasn't fighting for attention anymore. It had it. People cared, people watched, people debated. This was supposed to be the start of a new chapter, a renaissance for women's basketball. Instead, it's turning into a cliffhanger no one wanted. Because if this lockout hits, it won't just bench players, it'll bench the momentum that took decades to build. It'll silence the noise, kill the rivalries, and erase the buzz that made even casual fans say, "Yo, did you see what Caitlin Clark did last night?" And here's what's craziest of all. Both sides say they love the game. Both sides say they're fighting for the future. But right now, that future is slipping away while everyone's arguing over numbers on a spreadsheet. You can't grow the game if no one's playing it. You can't inspire the next generation from a picket line. And you can't call this a new era if it ends before it even begins. The players are right to demand more. They are the product. They put their bodies on the line, they travel non-stop, and they've elevated this sport beyond anyone's expectations. But the league has a point too. It's got to be sustainable. The challenge is balance, not blame. Because if they blow this chance, if the WNBA locks out in 2026, it won't just be a lost season, it'll be a symbol of wasted potential. But maybe, just maybe, this pressure is exactly what's needed to break the old system and finally build the future the players deserve. A future where the next Caitlin Clark doesn't have to fight this same battle all over again. So as fans, we've got one job: keep the pressure on, keep the conversations alive, keep watching, keep caring, because this moment matters more than ever. If the WNBA wants to call itself a league built by women, for women, now's the time to prove it. This is Her Hoops, and we'll be watching every move. If you're riding with us through the chaos, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and make sure those notifications are on. Because this story, it's just getting started.